Hey there, Anthony Devine from DigitalWave Marketing. I want to thank you so much for joining me, whether you're joining me live today or perhaps on a recording. I want to thank all those South Carolina lawyers and law firms checking out this very, very important presentation. You're going to be glad you spent the next few minutes with me live and replay because this is a very important question I'm going to answer for you today. And that is, how much revenue can you or your competition generate ranking on page one of Google and or in the top three of Google Maps local search results? Now, if you don't know what the latter is, the top three of Google Maps local search results, no worries. I'm going to show you that in a minute. Now, I know your time is valuable, so we're going to get right to it with a very brief introduction, just so you know who I am and why you should be listening to me. I am a business consultant and owner, founder of DigitalWave Marketing, an online marketing and advertising agency. We are located in South Carolina. However, we do work with clients throughout the U.S. I started working personally online back in 1999 on a part-time basis and began working with businesses online all the way back in 2008. So lots of experience. One of the things we specialize in is getting attorneys more paying and contingent clients each month by optimizing their online marketing and advertising efforts. Now, our local services we offer include search engine optimization. I'm sure you've heard way too many times the acronym SEO, probably get pitched that daily. Also, we provide Facebook marketing, video marketing, and some other services. Now, why are you here today? Either I contacted you because I did research on several keywords your website and or Google My Business or GMB page should be ranked for but aren't, or you found this presentation perhaps live on Facebook through a Google search or elsewhere looking for answers to your SEO and ranking questions and woes. Now, it doesn't matter how you made it here. What matters and what's really important is your website is currently not ranking on page one of Google and or your GMB page is not ranking in Google Maps top three, aka the three pack for any of your relevant keywords, which is currently costing you and your firm online traffic, leads, sales, revenues, and profits, all of which if you aren't getting, I guarantee you, those are currently going to one or more of your competitors. And I want to help you stop that because I can help you and your firm solve your huge problem starting today. I want to quickly show you first how much potential revenue you could be missing out on for not ranking for just one keyword. Now, the keyword we're going to talk about is Charleston car accident lawyer today. Now, it's important to know this is just an example. It could be for any other keyword such as personal injury attorney, Columbia, Hilton Head Island lawyers, Greenville, SC, divorce attorneys, etc., etc. So it could be for various practice areas as well as various cities or markets. So I don't want you to think we're just talking about Charleston because that's just an example, because we do not have enough time in the day to go through infinite number of examples. However, if you want me to do an example for you, especially if you go through this presentation, let me know because you're going to see some cool stuff here in just a second. Now, just imagine now, what if your firm ranked on page one of Google and Google Maps 3-pack for that keyword or perhaps one of your primary keywords? If you don't know what Google Maps 3-pack is, no worries. Here's an example. Now at the top, you can see we're still following through with the keyword Charleston car accident lawyer. At the top here, right below that, are Google AdWords results. There could be 0 to several of those results depending on the search. Interesting or important to note here, for this particular keyword, the cost or suggested bid by Google AdWords is $334 per click. So just 10 clicks on these AdWords could cost upwards of over $3,000. So that's very important clicks. But we're not here to talk about AdWords today. What we want to show you on this particular page is the Google Maps local results, also known as the 3-pack, which now might be evident to you what the 3-pack is. Typically, for any local search where there is a local search results, you're going to have a 3-pack. It's going to be a map followed by 3 organic listings. Now, sometimes recently, Google started adding AdWords here. You can see there aren't any AdWords here, but sometimes you could see, in addition to the 3 organic results, you could see 1 or 2 AdWords above that. But what's important for us is the top 3 here are the organic results, and that's where you want to be ranked for your keywords when there is a map being displayed, whether it's on desktop and or on a mobile device. And it's what point out with the mobile device, it's very critical, in my opinion. It's just important, if not more important, to rank in the 3-pack here. And the reason is this. When somebody does a search on a mobile device, whether it's an iPhone, Android device, a tablet, iPad, doesn't matter. Typically what shows up are the results are what you see here, something like this, but on a mobile screen. It's only going to be AdWords, and if there aren't AdWords, it's going to be just the map, and the results are going to populate the Google 3-pack results are going to populate the entire screen. So the user is going to have to scroll down to see the organic results too. So it's really important to rank here for your keywords, because a lot of times searchers won't get beyond these results. They might open more places if you're in the top 3. However, it's beneficial to be here because you stand out and gives the appearance that Google is giving you almost like a testimonial and giving you obviously a great result, and searchers are going to find that very favorable looking at it. It's important to note too, it's great to have reviews and have close to 5 stars or 5 stars. Of course, you want to have low reviews here. If you do, let me know. I can help you out with that too. But the point here is it's great to have good reviews, and many, because over half of all searchers looking for services and products online, including legal services, take into account and read reviews. So it's very important to have those. So the only other statistic I want to point out, because it's important, mobile. Like I said, over half of all local searches are now done on a mobile device, and sometimes they can be upwards of 80% depending on the keyword and market. So it's very, very important to be ranked in the 3-pack to get the maximum opportunity for your firm to be seen online and have that online traffic come to you. All right, so let's continue on. Now, just imagine how much more revenue could you and your law firm generate from ranking just this one keyword on page 1 of Google and or Google Maps 3-pack, or one of your primary keywords. Let's find out now. What we're going to do is jump out of the presentation for a minute, and I want to go over to a couple reports I put together for you. First of all, we're going to talk about, again, Charleston car accident lawyer. As an example, could be a keyword. Of course, assumptions would most likely change, and this is, of course, typically a contingent type of case. So the fee is going to be different than, say, a DUI case, or other type of files you might have, a real estate client, et cetera, et cetera. But we're just talking about this one example here. So what this is, I'm showing you as a report of, it really answers the question that I get asked most by prospects and clients alike. What does it mean to me to be ranked on either on page 1 of Google in this instant for any particular keyword? What does that mean? In other words, how much money could I potentially earn, or revenues could I bring in, number of cases could I bring in by ranking on page 1 of Google, whether it's ranking in number 1 position or number 10 on page 1. Of course, it's a very loaded question, and there are different parameters and assumptions that have to go into play. And but what we can do is at least get an estimate to try to answer that question, to really boil it down and have a better idea to make an informed decision whether to, of course, engage SEO in the type of keywords you want to consider. Now, our assumptions here: a monthly search volume. We have 260 per Google AdWords Keyword Planner tool for this particular keyword. 100 to 1,000 or more monthly searches are done for this keyword. So 260 appears to be a conservative number, but it's what we want to use here in our example. Average lifetime value per client. Now, that's for what's your average case size? What's the average amount you settle, get a verdict on? What you're looking here for is a personal injury type case. So not all cases or all clients in your firm, if you are a general practitioner or if you have different practice areas. Of course, this number is going to be fluid, but we're talking about specifically about a personal injury type or contingent type of case. So those cases alone, how much do you bring in? You could even boil it down even more specific to a car accident versus wrongful death, that type of thing. You want to understand the average lifetime value per client to put in here. We've got 50,000. It's probably conservative for these types of situations, but of course, a car accident could be catastrophic or it could be minor, and obviously the collection of a settlement or a trial verdict could be less than that. If you have a number, want me to do this type of report for you, just let me know. I'd love to send that over to you. Now, next we have CTR percentage, and this varies. This is the click-through rate. The only thing important to note here for you, it's already in the software, which incidentally, this software I had created from my own way of creating and calculating these numbers. So very proud of the software, and put together for myself and for my prospects and clients, and ultimately was found out by other SEO professionals, begged me to have it, have a copy of it. So I started selling it end of December last year, and I think it's over 1,200 units of it so far, so which is great. But anyway, moving forward, percent of monthly clicks convert to prospect calls and emails. Now what this means, for every 100 visitors to your site, how many of those visitors either call you or submit their email? So I'm saying 15 out of every 100 do. Again, if you have different numbers, different percentage, want me to do a report for you, let me know. I'd love to help you out. Next, percent of monthly prospect calls, emails converted to clients. So out of these 15%, how many of those people that call you, email you, actually ultimately become clients? I say here 20%, or 2 out of every 10, or 20 out of every 100. Again, if you have a different number or percentage, want to have me do a report for you, let me know. I'd love to help you out. But that's what we're going to use for our example here as an assumption. Now, next is average CPC, or cost per click. We don't have to worry about that. It's for AdWords. And then lastly, my estimated monthly SEO fee. I just put this in there for example purposes only. So it doesn't, I'm not guaranteeing or saying this is a fee to work with me. Could be lower, could be higher, could be right on, depending on the situation and number of keywords, the location, all sorts of factors go into that. But the important thing to note here is I'm putting my entire fee in this example on one keyword. When we work with clients, we have a portfolio of keywords that we're looking to rank for, and typically not only do we rank for those, we rank for just naturally additional what we call long tail or longer keywords as well. And as an example, I had one law firm recently. We had, I think it was 20 or have 25 primary keywords to rank for, and we rank for over 100 on page 1 of Google, as well as over 100 keywords in the 3-pack because the way we do SEO, that naturally causes rankings not just for the primary keywords but also related keywords without doing any work on those related keywords. So just so you know, this any time I talk about fee, I'm talking about portfolio of keywords, and it also could mean for your website as well as your Google My Business page, depending on what we're doing. So anyway, just want to clear that up, not thinking that every keyword would cost that much. That'd be absolutely ludicrous. But anyway, moving forward here now, we're going to continue on with our Charleston car accident lawyer. So if you ranked on page 1 of Google, number 1 under our assumptions here, here's estimated what could happen as a result based on our assumptions. Potential number of new clients per month could be 2, a little over 2 per month. We'll say 2 here. And then if you annualize 2.37, it'd be about 28 new clients per year possible based on our assumptions. Now, what does that mean monetarily, or potentially could mean based on $50,000 average case or client size? We're looking at bringing in an additional $118,500 per month, or annualized $1.4 million plus annually. Now, having said that, because these are contingent type of cases, you and I both know as soon as you bring in a case or a client for like a car accident, for example, here, you're not going to settle that case most likely within a month. Could take a year, could take 2 years, could take several years, depending on the factors. If you go to trial, have appeals and all that. But ultimately, what could these clients coming in now bring in? And the only way to make that calculation work, of course, is to bring forward those dollars and assign it to that specific month that it does come in as a new client. So what I'm saying is, your finances better than I do, of course, right now. And if you've been in practice for a while, any length of time, you've already have cases that are working through, at various stages, and you're collecting and bringing those in weekly, monthly, yearly, that type of thing. So, but I just want to clarify that if it's a contingent type of case, of course, we're not bringing it in monthly, but we are assigning it to the dollars that it costs to bring that client in, as well as getting a return on investment of these dollars for that client over time. So hopefully that makes more sense to you now. We can skip the next 3 years because, again, this is about AdWords and it's not relevant to our discussion. Just point out the estimated fee. Again, it's just an estimate for purposes of this assumption and calculations, $2,500. If you subtract that from $118,500, we come up with an estimated monthly SEO profit of $116,000, which produces an estimated return on investment of over 4,700. Pretty amazing number when you consider it's just one keyword, and we're taking and loading the entire fee on that one keyword. Now that's great, ranking number one. So what does it mean if you're ranking, let's say number 5, for example? And you can get a copy of this report, by the way, below this video. On the page you're watching this video on, there'll be a link or a little box you can click in order to get it. And if you're ranking number 5, you can see it significantly drops from over 4,700 to 700% return on investment. Still great return on investment, but you can see even ranking from number 1 to number 5, the big downfall in the number of potential clients can go down to 4 per year based on our assumptions. And then finally, I want to show you number 10. And the reason I'm showing this is because a lot of people, businesses, whether attorneys, doctors, dentists, so on and so forth, think, hey, if I just rank on page 1 of Google, that's good enough. Well, it can be to get some results, but for example, if you're ranked number 10, we're looking at, based on our assumptions, you might bring in 1 new client. Of course, you could bring in more than 1 ranking there. I'm not saying you're not, but we're estimating based on a certain set of circumstances and assumptions we're using that you can bring in about 1 client per year, which even if you did that, it's still profitable. But the idea is, of course, you want to rank higher. So if you are ranked on page 1, but if you're, in the lower tier, 5 through 10, 6 through 10, whatever, and I even argue you want to be in the top 3. Of course, you want to be number 1, but you want to be in those top numbers because you're going to have more opportunities to have clients reach out to you via phone and or email in order to have an opportunity to convert those prospects into clients. So you can see there's a significant drop-off, and that's probably the best terminology to use. It's significant drop-off. And if you're on page 2, you might as well forget about it. Very rarely does anybody go to page 2 for the results. Most typical searchers look at the top 3, get about 2/3 of all clicks are in the top 3 results, and then after that, they back out and do another search if they don't find what they're looking for. So you really have 1 opportunity for that keyword in order to get their attention and hopefully get them to click. So you want to have the best opportunity, and it's ranking highly on page 1 of Google. Now, the other thing I want to show you just briefly, we're going to make it much briefer here, is show you a different keyword. Again, just for example's sake, we're going to use Columbia SE attorneys here just to show you a couple different things. Number 1, we're going to do the Google Maps local search results, so ranking in the 3-pack. And we use some different assumptions here. Monthly search volume of 600. It's very general keyword. Again, Google's saying anywhere from 100 to 1,000 or more per month on average. So we use 600. Average lifetime value per client. I'm assuming this is for like a general practitioner, which include personal injury, could include car accidents, include divorce, all sorts of good stuff, but just a general keyword. Just to give an example here. So I've got the average lifetime value per client of 15,000. That might be too high for you. Maybe it's 7,500, maybe it's 10, maybe it's 50, whatever the case is. This is just an example to show you that the numbers still work and why you want to be ranked, not just on page 1 of Google, but also in Google's 3-pack. And you can see here again the CTR is going to vary, so we're not going to worry about the click-through rates here. And then what I changed here a little bit is percent of monthly clicks convert to calls and emails. We got 15 out of 100 people that go to your site are going to call or submit an email. And out of those 15%, I'm saying just 1 out of 10 are going to convert to clients. So much more conservative. And then I took my fee as an example, $1,500. Again, it's all loaded on 1 keyword. I'm not saying that's the fee. Not guarantee it's a fee for anything. It's just for the example to show you what's possible here. Now, under our assumptions here, you can see we can land approximately, you could land up to close to 3 clients per month, or on an annual basis, a little over 33 clients per month. What that means monetarily on a monthly basis, based on our scenario of $15,000 average client times 2.73 is almost $41,000. Multiply that by 12, or 15,000 times 32.76 clients. we're talking a little over $490,000. Now, if you just go back to the monthly piece of that, $40,950 you're bringing in, only costing you $1,500, and probably a lot of this could be monthly revenue coming in because you're billing clients monthly. We're talking of a great profit for only $1,500. You could be bringing in an estimated additional profit of $39,450 by ranking this particular keyword in the 3-pack, and that comes back with an awesome return on investment of 2,730%. Now, what's great about 3-pack too is whether you're ranked number 1, 2, or 3, you're still getting a great return on your investment. Of course, you want to be ranked higher because you put yourself in position to have better results. However, even ranking number 3 in the 3-pack, 850% estimated return on investment based on our assumptions here. So bringing in about 10 clients per year, almost 1 client per month, and that comes out to additional income of $12,750 for only a cost of $1,500 in our example, or you're netting an additional $11,250, and you multiply that, of course, by 12, you're coming out with a gross new client value per year of $153,000 in this example. And of course, you'd multiply 12 here, so 18 minus 18,000, it'd be about $138,000, $137,000 of additional revenue under this example for one keyword in the 3-pack. So as you can see here, it's critical to be ranking not only in the 3-pack, but of course also ranking, as we showed you, ranking on page 1 of Google for this other keyword. And so I cannot stress enough, if you're not ranking either on page 1 or in the 3-pack, your competitors are, and they're the ones with these opportunities, not you. And that can be a huge difference to the longevity of your firm, the growth of your firm, doing what you want to do on a short and long-term basis. The bottom line is, if you want to be banking more money, you need to be ranking organically as well as in the Google 3-pack. So with that, I want to get back into the presentation. We're going to wrap it up here real quickly because I know your time's valuable, but I can't stress enough the importance of ranking. I think you can see that now, and I hope you see the value in this presentation to really get you thinking about the importance of online marketing if you haven't taken it serious or not getting the results you want to see. Now that you've seen the power and profit potential of ranking on page 1 of Google as well as in the 3-pack for just one keyword each, let me ask you this. Do you want your competitors to continue to outrank you on page 1 of Google and or in the 3-pack for your firm's relevant keywords, and as a result, your competitors, continue to land clients in cases that should be yours? Or do you want your website and your Google My Business page or GMB page to rank on page 1 of Google and in the 3-pack respectively for your firm's relevant keywords, which then puts you and your firm in prime position to generate more leads, clients, cases, and revenues instead of your competition? Talk about a rhetorical question, right? I believe this is the ultimate no-brainer opportunity for you and your firm, which I just illustrated for you a few minutes ago. However, you must take fast action because we can only take on and work with one law firm client per city metro area in South Carolina. That's to ensure we never have a conflict of interest when working with our clients to get them the best results. After all, there can only be one top law firm in each South Carolina city, right? Of course. Now, the spots for each city are always snapped up very quickly. Call me today to see if we still have a spot available for your firm in select South Carolina cities, currently including Charleston, Columbia, Hilton Head Island, and a few additional cities, depending upon it when you're watching this video, of course. Whatever you do, do not drag your heels on this. I'm sending this to many qualified South Carolina attorneys and law firms across the state. If the spot you want is still available, it goes to the first qualified firm that retains us. I do note, if you want more than one spot that is available, you may select as many spots in as many cities as you want. And of course, we'll consider and give you a discount when retaining us for multiple cities and doing multiple services in those cities, like multiple Google My Business pages, etc. Now, you need to call me for a quick 10-minute discussion, and I'll walk you through the entire process so you can lock in your spots now. I'm available 7 days a week, and I'm going to give you my contact information here. Again, it's Anthony Devine, Digital Wave Marketing, 843-290-9950. And my email address here, as you can see, is adevine@digitalwavemarketing.com. Now, if you call I'm not available, please leave a message, and I will promptly call you back as soon as I can. And so with that, I want to end this presentation, and I hope you enjoyed it and got great benefit out of it. And now see, when you're not ranking, you can't be banking online because it's costing you not to rank. And if you're not getting the results your competitors are, and I want to help you stop that. And we can do that starting today. As soon as you call me and provide their spots still available, I would love to help you out. And of course, if you just have any other questions, comments, feel free to contact me as well. So with that, we're going to go ahead and wrap up the conversation and this presentation. I want to thank you again so much for joining me, and we will talk to you soon.